Good afternoon. The Culture Secretary has held talks with the Director General of the BBC as pressure mounts on the broadcaster after claims a presenter paid a teenager for sexually explicit images. Lucy Fraser said she had been assured the BBC is investigating allegations against one of its presenters swiftly and sensitively. The talks follow further allegations about the conduct of the presenter being accused, which were published today. Carrie Davis has our report.
With the star's identity still protected and the BBC silent since Friday, more damaging claims continue to emerge. In today's Sun newspaper, the mother of the alleged victim maintains she approached the broadcaster in May, but claims her child received a £1,000 payment in June. "My child said they had run out of money and then suddenly had this cash," she says. "It's obvious to me the BBC hadn't spoken to this man between our complaint on the 19th of May and in June, as they thought he was too important. We never wanted an investigation. We just wanted the BBC to tell him to stop." She blames the presenter for funding her child's drug addiction. "I've had 3 years of hell. The impact of this has been terrifying. In my mind, that man was supplying the crack." Following a phone call with the BBC Director General Tim Davie this lunchtime, the Culture Secretary Lucy Fraser says, "He has assured me the BBC are investigating swiftly and sensitively. Given the nature of the allegations, it is important that the BBC is now given the space to conduct its investigation, establish the facts and take appropriate action. I will be kept updated." Swift action was also the demand from government ministers this morning.
These are very, very serious allegations. I expect the BBC to respond swiftly. We want to have answers to this quickly, please.
And the apparent political consensus is that the BBC hasn't done enough.
Look, it's incredibly concerning, as is the response of the BBC, who need to much more quickly investigate complaints like this and take it more seriously.
The BBC hasn't issued any fresh statements since Friday, when it said it treats any allegations very seriously and that new information will be acted upon appropriately. It is understood the presenter wasn't scheduled to be on air in coming days, but serious questions remain unanswered. Carrie Davis, ITV News.
I'm joined now by our political correspondent Tom Sheldrick. Tom, these talks have taken place, but as Carrie just said there, questions remain for the corporation.
Yes, Duncan, that update from the Culture Secretary has come in the last half an hour. It does suggest she's had some level of reassurance about the BBC's investigation. I think it is unusual, it is notable to see this level of involvement from the government, and it illustrates again how serious this situation appears to be. But we wait now to see whether there is any fresh statement from the BBC, for example, around how quickly this investigation will proceed. And yes, many questions remain unanswered, particularly around how the corporation responded when a complaint about this alleged behaviour from the presenter was first made. OK,
Tom, thank you very much. The Climate Action Group Just Stop Oil has denied interrupting the wedding of the former Chancellor George Osborne. A smartly dressed woman showered him and his new wife in orange confetti as they left the church in Somerset. Just Stop Oil said the woman who did it is not one of theirs. And President Biden flies into the UK tonight ahead of a meeting with Rishi Sunak in Downing Street tomorrow. It comes after tensions between the two over the US government's decision to send controversial cluster bombs to Ukraine. The weapons are banned by more than 120 nations, including the UK, because of the danger they pose to civilians. To sport, and in the fourth day of the third men's Ashes test, England began the day needing 251 to keep their hopes alive. At lunch, England have scored 153 for 4 wickets. It means they require 98 to win the third match. Currently, they're 2-0 down in the 5-match series. And finally, after more than 50 years of live touring, including 5 saying farewell, Sir Elton John has performed his final concert on the road. The singer told fans in Stockholm they would remain in his head, heart and soul, and hinted at future performances of a different kind. Here's Jay Akbar with the singer's farewell.
Last night we came to the end of the yellow brick road. A golden goodbye to a lifetime of live performances.
You're in my head and my heart and my soul, and I thank you so much. I will never be touring again. I want to appreciate my family, my sons, my husband. You can tell everybody.
This was his song, his moment after 52 years of touring.
And the future you're giving me.
And this was his very first on US soil, a comparatively low-key performance in 1970. But he soon found his feet and iconic style. The sun had to go down eventually, and it set over Stockholm last night. Now we know Sir Elton loves a guest star, and they don't shine much brighter than Coldplay. From their own gig in Gothenburg, the superstars turned tribute band for one song before paying their respects to Rocketman himself.
From all the bands and all the artists that you've loved and inspired and helped, we just love you so much.
It's a good thing Chris Martin had words prepared, because Sir Elton John's fans...
I have no words right now because I haven't processed all the show, but it was amazing.
And just like that, Rocketman very slowly blasted off. It might be a long, long time before we see him again, but hopefully farewell isn't forever. Jay Akbar, ITV News.
OK, we're back at 6:30. Have a good afternoon.